Hello, everybody. I just wanted to do a Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3 um, spoiler review. So, this is going to be a spoiler review. And right off the bat, I gotta say, it's consistent. It's in line with the rest of the show. It's um, it went off on a good note. Um, and I really heavily enjoyed it. I cheered at moments. I cried at moments. It had all the feels that you would want in a finale for a show like this. And I read some some spoilers before going in, and only part of them were right. It's like almost like they had read it like out of order, or maybe like it wasn't all correct either. Um, but I'm just going to talk about what I saw. I'm not going to go episode to episode and give you like a synopsis of each episode. There are 5 episodes in all, and this in each segment there were three parts, and in each segment there were 5 episodes, so 15 altogether. And I'll just go for it. Like it starts out, it's Quan's funeral. You know, the guy that the kid that died in the last one from the knife, uh, accidentally landing on the knife that he was gonna actually kill. Was it Wolf with? Not Wolf. That's Sensei Wolf. The, his student, the tall guy, whatever his name is. Axel is his name. Axel. So it opens up with his funeral, and I I think they depicted kind of a overthrow of power at Cobra Kai, and um apparently the old guy that runs it, Master Kim, um was like being really harsh to the kids, and I think Kreese is finally like, it's ridiculous. I've made mistakes, and maybe it was too much. Maybe it was he actually sort of redeemed himself in this whole season, I would think. And I will get to what happens to him later, but he basically tells the woman sensei, I forget her name, that he's going to leave, that he's done. He's got some stuff he's got to do, and he's going to take off. And she ends up killing her grandfather and taking over Cobra Kai. But the thing is, they don't continue in the Sekai Tekai for some reason. That part of Cobra Kai, they don't continue in that, which I found kind of weird. But then you flash forward to the Valley, and Silver is working his machinations trying to get the tournament back on, but he has to get every dojo to agree. And well, the one that didn't want to do it was Cobra Kai, not Cobra Kai, Miyagi Do, and it took a while, a little soul searching and whatnot, and talking to his wife and talking to Johnny, and it finally got him. He did it, and also Silver came over to his house with Johnny after he kind of threatened Johnny, but they went over and actually had a civil conversation, and so they all are back in it, and um, they decided it was going to be at the All Valley place that Daniel-san apparently owns it or something, or owns some of the rights to it, or is a shareholder or something. I don't know. But so they're back in a tournament, and you know, little things happened in between the tournament to set things up. Johnny's wife gives birth, but before that, they get married. He talks to the priest that used to be in Cobra Kai. I forget his name. He's the bald guy now that was in a previous season, and he's a priest now. I, I look at his face. I'm like, I could see who he was in Cobra Kai. I think he was the guy that when I watched Karate Kid last time, I'm like, hey, that guy looks like Luke Skywalker. I think that's um, the guy that actually thought that, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this. You know, maybe this isn't right. You know, this kid's had enough. You know, he's that guy, but he turned out to be a priest in the end because he's a decent guy. So basically, that happens. Then they try to hook up. Danielson and his wife try to hook up the Chosen with a date at a winery, but it doesn't work out. But they kind of talk, him and this woman, and I don't know who the woman was. I knew the actress. I'm like, I know her from something. The actress that got to play Amanda LaRusso's friend. I'm like, is she from like 90210 or something? Or was it Tori from Saved by the Bell? Is that who that was? Tori from Saved by the Bell? I think that's who it was, actually. I could be wrong, but if anyone watching this knows that woman that was at the winery with them, with the tarot cards and the Reiki and whatnot, which I get into actually. I get into Reiki and tarot cards because it's kind of in line with my Eastern philosophy, and I follow some artists that do it. One being the Sleep Mermaid, the other being Whispers of the Wolf. But anyway, so they all, Johnny's wife has the baby, they get married, they have the tournament, and basically lose the first match. Axel beats I think that's his name. Axel beats Johnny's son, the blonde kid. What's his name? But he beats him, and then they're down to like one fight, and it's almost like impossible to win the tournament at this point. So Danielson's daughter, Sam, drops out and says, I don't want to do it. So being that they don't match another fighter for Axel, they lose. And but then Kreese talks to Johnny, and he's like, if there's anything I could do for you, he apologizes. He says, for everything I've ever done, I just wanted the best for you, and I failed you, and all this. And they hugged, and it seemed pretty genuine. You could tell they were kind of trying to redeem him a little bit, trying to show that he wasn't altogether bad, that maybe he just made some mistakes in life, like I think we all do, which is a very human thing. So then the next thing you know, after he says, is there anything I could do for you? And he's like, he basically, being that Miyagi-Do is out of it, he tells him, you're going to be you won't see this is like off camera, but they announce a new addition to the Cobra Kai is their new sensei, Johnny Lawrence, and he comes out with Miguel as one of his students, and his other student is Tori Nichols. And basically everyone's cheering it, um, including Danielson. He's like kind of going like fist pumping him, saying way to go," And right before the fight, I think is it before the fight? I think it's like before the fight. He had Danielson talk to Silver, who told him basically, you lost. What is it? You're always gonna be a loser, basically, and if even if Cobra Kai wins, that's not your dojo. And he's like, don't be so sure. Cobra Kai never dies, and they have the matches. Miguel beats Axel, and Tori beats that Zara girl, who I gotta say, and all the characters who play the kids are adults. So I don't think this is wrong for me to say, but the girl that plays Zara, I think she's like in her 20s. I think she's really pretty, and I hear she's like a real fighter, so she really kick ass. She's just beautiful and she kicks ass. She's like I don't know, maybe like MMA or something. I don't know. She's some kind of fighter. Playing younger than she is, obviously. Like most of the characters are. Even like when the show started, all the main characters were in their like early 20s, late teens, like 18, 19 years old. But now they're all like late 20s and stuff mostly, and a couple of younger cast members are like early 20s. So anyway, back on track here. Back on track. I went off track a little there. I feel like they kind of missed an opportunity with the first two fights that Cobra Kai won, to have Danielson wearing a Cobra Kai gi in the as a sensei, but then they announce big announcement. It's a tie, and so we have to have a tiebreaker, which is going to be two of the two remaining senseis fighting each other, which is Sensei Wolf and Johnny. And I'm thinking this has got to be it. He's got to ask him to be his. He's got to ask Danielson to be his sensei, and he does. So we finally, in the last fight, get to see Danielson in the Cobra Kai gi, which was, it was so cool. I was like, they should have done this for the first two fights. It's so much cooler. So much more time with Danielson in the gi. So he trains him like before the fight, before we see him in the gi. And at this point, I was thinking, what if he shows up in like his Miyagi-Do gi, and I'm like, that would be so disappointing, But they delivered on that one, and it was like a woo moment, And then they definitely had a Rocky speech where he told him about Rocky, and everyone talks about the Rocky 2 and Rocky 3 as being the best because Rocky wins in the end, but he says, look at Rocky 1, right? He doesn't win, but he wins because he wins the hearts of millions of people around the world, around the country, and he gets the girl in the head. You know what I mean? He gets Adrian. So he does win, and that's like kind of the message that he gives Johnny when they're training. And then they have a Rocky montage of them running through the streets, kind of like that Rocky moment. And I gotta say, Johnny and Danielson look all the age that they are. What are they, like, close to 60? 60? They looked it running. You could kind of tell. Like, too bad there wasn't a filmmaking way to make them look younger, but well, let's put it this way: I'm a little bit overweight. I weigh right now like about 230, but like a mere few months ago, I was like 218, 220, and so I'm a bit overweight. I'm 5'8", and I think I could run faster than Johnny and Danielson. I mean, seriously, I could totally best him in a race at this point, and or they look like they run slower than me. Seriously, and but anyway, so it was a great moment, and then before the fight, uh, Kreese is thinking about kidnapping Johnny's daughter and wife as collateral to lose the fight, or they'll be killed or something or whatever. And but right before that happens, the guy that's gonna go kill him comes tumbling down the stairs dead. And who did it? Who's on the deck of the yacht where Silver is? But Kreese, and he totally redeems himself again by standing by the side of Johnny, he's not in this scene, but by defending his honor, and they have a fight. They have a karate fight. It's wild. It ends with some gas had spilled over, and Kreese says, what does he say? Cobra Kai, not Cobra Kai never dies, but no mercy. He says no mercy, throws the cigar at the gas, and the yacht fucking blows the fuck up. Another woo moment, yeah! I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. But it was so friggin' cool. And so then you have the fight, but before the fight, Sensei Wolf confronts Johnny in the locker room and shows him, hey, I'm the more powerful guy. I can break off your arm like that. And then pushes him on the floor. And it scares Johnny. And Johnny, for the beginning of the fight, looks scared. So, like, the first couple of times the first time they had a timeout, and Danielson, who's all dressed in his Cobra Kai gi, and he, when he first talks to him, he's like giving him the whole, Miyagi-Do spiel about how to do it, and it's not working. It's just not hitting the mark, and the last time out, Chosen's like, hey, you know him better than anybody else. You know he's not Miyagi-Do. Talk to him like you're his sensei from Cobra Kai. And he does. He, gives him the whole Cobra Kai. I mean, I thought he was going a little more heavy with it, but he went heavy enough to make you like, wow, that's him doing that's Danielson doing the no mercy shit. And so he goes out there and he kicks ass the rest of the fight. And I thought he was going to do the crane kick to end it, but maybe that would have been too cheesy. But instead, he gets his balance and ends up beating him. So Cobra Kai wins, and oh my god, what a cool way to end the tournament in Cobra Kai fashion, which, it's based on Cobra Kai, so it's really cool that Cobra Kai ended up winning the whole thing in the end, and that Danielson embraced it and everything, and actually got his dojo back for a smaller amount of money that he wasn't going to have to pay as much. He still has to pay, but not as much. And so, just the fact that the show is called Cobra Kai, so you had to kind of have it. You kind of knew it was going to end with Cobra Kai coming out in the end in some kind of big way. And they had the song playing as they're all celebrating, including Danielson is Cobra Kai Gi, all celebrating to the song. Well, the song is playing in the soundtrack. Guns N' Roses, "Sweet Child of Mine," and it was just so friggin' cool. And um, Karate Kid was always an '80s franchise originally, so to end on a late '80s song from Guns N' Roses, really cool Guns N' Roses song, and then they showed montages after that of everybody and doing their thing, and Hawk and what's Dimitri and Dimitri hooks back up with his girlfriend, and they get it on during the tournament. They missed the last match with the senseis because his girlfriend and him are somewhere doing it, probably in a bathroom or something. But that was pretty cool. I was really happy to see them back together because I know some people probably don't care about their storyline as much, but maybe it's not like the big focus of the show. But I was disappointed when they broke up. I mean, it's not like he cheated on her. He danced with a girl. Big deal, right? And she basically said, "You paid your dues," and we're back together. And I was so happy with that. And Chosen ended up going to wherever that Asian sensei woman, what is her name, of Cobra Kai, Kim's granddaughter, I guess. So they showed that they were gonna be an item, I guess. Which I don't understand. She killed her grandfather, apparently, or did she just disable him? Maybe she didn't kill him. I don't know. Point being is that they're together. They depicted that, and then Sam goes off to some kind of college program in Okinawa, because she heard all the stories about Okinawa from her dad, and Miguel was going to delay his college by a couple of weeks to hang out and get her set up in Okinawa, and go with her. So he decided that like last minute. And is there anything else that I'm missing? Oh, Tori, the girl Tori, and Tori Nichols, and her boyfriend. What the fuck is his name? Robbie. Tori and Robbie got huge endorsement deals to sponsor and be models for karate, like equipment and outfits and stuff, and gis and stuff. So they're making out good with that. They're going to be rich, and possibly get into the modeling world. And the last scene is right before. Well, Johnny goes to his mom's gravesite and brings flowers and a picture of the family and everybody at the wedding, and her his wife giving birth and all that. And because there was a scene from a few years ago, and this is how the show opened. This episode opened up. It kind of threw me off. I thought it was an older episode where Johnny, after the fight in Applebee's, goes to his mom's grave all drunk and stuff and talks to her. So it kind of ended there too again. But then it also ends with him, the baby, showing up to their new house that somehow he bought. I don't know. Someone from Cobra Kai, who used to be in Cobra Kai, I think might have helped him out with that. And then Stingray gets his last scene. He's gonna be opening up a dojo. Oh, and then there's a really cool scene where they show you, and this is kind of, I think they did the scene backwards, kind of, but they show you like the two last scenes. The second to last scene was they show you Cobra Kai, and Danielson's son is in it, Anthony, Isn't it Anthony? I think he's in Cobra Kai, and they show him in there, and the sensei is obviously Johnny, and then but then it goes from showing you that to showing you, and they show you the different, like, how they're going to team up. Like Miyagi Do is going to teach those kids something, and then they're going to go over to learn from um, Cobra Kai. So they're going to like be a joint kind of thing where they work together. But then the last scene is Johnny and um LaRusso having a meal at a sushi place, and at the bar talking, and I don't know what the conversation was. If we're talking about some kind of TV show or movie, I couldn't quite make out what they were saying, or if it had any significance to something that would be, um, you know, a spoiler for something to come. Were they talking about the Karate Kid movie? Were they talking about a spin-off? I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to like watch that again, or hopefully someone who noticed it can give some insight into it. And then it ends with him, Danielson, with the chopsticks and the fly in the restaurant, and then right before then he has a kind of a moment where he remembers to when Mr. Miyagi did that, and boom, Johnny smashes it with his hands and says, "Strike, strike first or something, or strike hard." I don't know what is the thing. This is the slogan. Um, I think that was a backwards scene, though. I think that scene was supposed to be before, where they show you the two dojos working together in unison, and the kids going back and forth in their different dojos. Here's an interesting thought, though. So it appears that Danielson, this is like 3 years later, leaves and goes to New York City to train the kid played by Ben Wong in the new Karate Kid movie. And I've heard, from everything I've heard, it's supposed to be canon. Everything is canon and mixed together. Now it's all in the same world. There's no like Miyagi verses or anything. So why would Danielson just pick up and leave? He's married. Yeah, his kids are probably at that point all off into college and whatnot. One of his kids might be done with college. Samantha and his son's probably in college at that point. Why would he just take off and just? I hope that they bring that up. And another thing, they show in the new Karate Kid movie trailer that the house is a white color, Miyagi's house, but in the last scene of Miyagi Do kind of mixing their talents with Cobra Kai, they show them painting the house yet again green. So what do they paint it back the old color? Again, from everything I've heard, there's no Miyagi verses. It's all the same verse. So, and also I hear the house looks different than it does in the TV show. Are they just saying, just roll with it and don't worry about that too much? It's just a small little detail. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I maybe we'll get a new Karate Kid trailer today. I don't know if they would want to do that and overshadow the show, but we'll see. If not, maybe Tuesday would be the day to release that. To release a Karate Kid Legends trailer, but we will see. Uh, Overall, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Just small little gripes, like why didn't they have Danielson in the gi for the two first matches, as well as being Johnny's sensei in the end, and Chosen was his sensei as well. Um, but like that to me is like a lot missed opportunity. Um, right there. Maybe they figured if they had Danielson as the sensei, as the backup sensei or whatever, him and Chosen, that when they came time to make the senseis fight, that one of them might have to fight too. And maybe they just didn't want to do that. So I don't know. But it was great seeing Silver and Kreese just blow up. Oh my god, that was so funny. Oh, I was cheering so hard at that. Oh, it was so great. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna give it a rating. Out of a 10, I'm giving it a 10.5. Really. 10.5. So, really, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. They stuck the landing, in my opinion, and I really enjoyed it. So, anyway, have a great day, everybody. Happy Thursday, and may the force be with you all. And I love you all, and God bless.